Look at that, that is disgusting. I feel like it's dicing with death to eat it. Very dirty oil, there's black bits all over it. This clearly is like one of the worst in Cornwall. It is absolutely dripping. It's pretty greasy. Everybody talks about the best chippy around, but what about the ones that nobody dares to mention? I'm going to dive to the bottom of the really deep barrel that is Cornwall's food and takeaway scene. Get ready to find out which places serve up some really disappointing munch. It wouldn't be right to do a hunt for the worst fish and chips if I didn't come to Padstow. And no, I'm not going to Rick Stein's either. This has a 1.9 star rating on Google. Some of the reviews: poisoned by a pasty. First you are hit with the terrible service, then you're hit with the bad quality food, then with the regret that you haven't researched the reviews before coming here. Batter on the cod was uncooked on the inside, tasted like flour, just all wet and soggy. When I complained, I was told the batter is like that because the fish is wet. This is Walker's Fish and Chips. I'm going to go and get some food. A good friend of mine, Gary Eats, came here a while back. It's going to be very bad apparently. We'll find out in a minute. Let's go and have a look. Wish me luck. Okay people, I've got it. I've seen worse. Right, we're going to get some food. Let's go and have a look, see if we can find somewhere to sit down. Let's do it. This was freshly cooked. I watched them fry it up. There wasn't anything sat in the counter. It was cooked fresh to order. Come and take a closer look. So, as you can see, we're not really looking at fresh oil. So there are quite a few dark bits in there. The fish looks quite thin, dried out. We've got a nice hole in the batter there. A couple of dark ones. Okay. It's crunchy on the outside. It's fairly soft in the middle. It's really oily. And again, if you come in and look at that, see it is quite oily, quite greasy in there. That's dripping in grease, that one. You can probably see it on my fingers too. They're quite shiny. It's oily. That's the first bit I've noticed. It's not your standard chip shop curry sauce either. Okay, let's do a dip. Okay, it's not too thin. I've had thinner. Okay, let's have a look. There's not a lot of flavour going on there. I would say that's closer to a gravy than a curry sauce. I'm going to break open a bit of the fish. It's a bit windy here. I've had to come out of the way of the seafront because of the seagulls. Although, I'm sure the seagulls wouldn't be too bothered about trying this. As you can see, the batter's quite thick. It's holding together. And again, it's pretty greasy. Right. Come on in, look at this now. Here we go. See, we got, it's not the best looking fish in the world. Quite doughy on the batter too. Okay. For what I paid, I would have expected slightly better, but it's pretty greasy. Look at the state of the grease. It's loaded with it. Of course, when we get in here as well, we've got, it doesn't look particularly great, does it? I know that's the bottom of the fish where the skin's been, but even when you look at the top, it's not particularly white. It's not great looking. Take that, I mean, that's, see the dough in there. It's absolutely thick with it. I'm going to try a bit of the fish. I'd say the curry sauce is the best bit, although that's not spectacular. The chips come in second. They're not spectacular either. They're greasy, very greasy. They're not dry though, and they're not overly soggy. But there's lots of black pieces in there. I know that's the potatoes, but even so. So if we open that up, the thickest part of this is literally the batter. It's that's pretty bad, really. You can see it's mushy. Right, but the outside of the batter's got a crunch to it. No, almost tastes like, you know when you go to the fairground, you get the donut stand. Tastes like donut batter. You see the colour of it in the sun. It's not white fish, it's very creamy coloured. And it's glistening with the grease. You can see the grease there glistening in the sun too. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to help if I dip. I was expecting a lot worse for the reviews. It is edible. Barely. Yeah. The only thing that's a saving grace, it was cooked fresh. Fresh being a bit of a contentious word, I think. It's your typical tourist trap fish and chip shop. No. Alright. And for me, it's just, it puts you off when you see that. And that. It's an interesting one. I feel like I need to eat it for what I paid for it. I feel like it's a waste, but I feel like it's dicing with death to eat it. Yeah. As you can see, the chips are very pale. There's not a lot of colour in them. Colour in them now, like that. Now there's colour. Didn't improve the taste though. The aftertaste sort of lingers around, a bit like an ex that's not accepting the breakup. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, £17.20. Vimto, I did say, is it cold? Is it out of the fridge? Yes, it's cold out of the fridge. It's not cold. That's probably as warm as the fish. Tourist trap. If I'm marking that out of 10, it's going to get maybe a 4. I don't think so. This is Jack's Fish and Chips. This is in Parr Market, just outside Parr, funnily enough. It's only got 5 reviews on Google, but it comes out at 3.2. 2 of the worst reviews we have are, this has to be the worst fish and chips I have ever had. The fish taste is old and the chips were greasy and probably reheated. Didn't enjoy the chips. We put them in the bin after a couple. And then obviously you've got your 3 and your 4 stars. Hiya, a can of cod and chips, please. Lovely, thank you. That was fast. This wasn't cooked to order, like a lot of chippies where they cook it as you order it. This was in the hot counter, but we're in a market, so I'm not expecting too much. I'm not expecting great things. The one thing I will say though, the chips aren't frozen. They're chunky. They're actually not too bad. That's pretty decent. If you come in and take a closer look, the chips actually look okay. A little bit of grease where the fish has sat on them, but I'll reserve judgment for a moment. The fish doesn't look massive, but the oil looks clean. That's good. And it's fairly crunchy overall. They did put salt and vinegar on this, so it's going to be a little bit soft in places where the salt and vinegar went on. But so far, I've got high hopes. Now, let's break open See what the colour of the fish is like. Now again, actually, let's have a look. That's quite white. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. For the price, so far so good. Now the batter is a little bit doughy in the middle. That's not horrendous. Doesn't taste like a proper good chippy, but it's not horrendous. So you can taste a little bit of the oil. It's not a really bad tasting oil, but it's not your beef dripping or nothing expensive even. The fish is not overly thick. I wouldn't say it's particularly fresh, but it's white. Apart from the fact it's been a little bit stuck together where the batter's attached to it, it's not particularly flaky. But for what we paid, not bad. As you can see in here, the batter, a little bit doughy in places, but overall, it's fairly crunchy inside and out. And it's got a decent crack to it. Now we've got a bit of a thing here. Looks like somebody's eaten half the middle of the fish before they battered it. It's like two pieces stuck together. As you can see, there's not much going on in there. It's a bit thin. But from a colour point of view, it doesn't actually look that bad. And from a taste point of view, I've had worse. It is absolutely dripping. Both hands. You can probably see that shimmering away. Dripping in grease. But at least it's clean grease. I'm not really upset with the quality of this, considering what we paid, considering we're not in a fish and chip shop, we're in a market. I think the reviews actually are a little bit unjustified. Is it the best fish and chips in the world? No, not by a long shot. But it's half decent really for what you paid. It's not disgusting. The oil doesn't taste dirty. The fish doesn't look like it's got any black bits stuck in the oil. The chips aren't totally disgusting. They're not pale. They don't have any massive black bits in them. Overall, not a bad colour. Nice and thick. And if we break in, have a look. They're not really dry either. No. All right. I almost feel bad putting this into this video. It's pretty decent. Very small portion, but didn't pay a lot either. On a mark out of 10, that gets a solid 6. Catch you at the next stop. We're in St Austell. This is Holmbush Fish and Chips. This place used to be really good, but looking at the reviews these days, I think they've tanked a little bit. Honestly, I've had better fish and chips from a dodgy van parked at the side of the motorway. The fish, let's say it had the texture of something that had been sunbathing on a leather sofa for a week. Chewy doesn't even begin to cover it. Award-winning, you're having a laugh. Soggy batter on the cod, dried up chips and scraps making up most of the container. Okay, this one's got some photos with it. Absolutely shocking. The cook thought that it was acceptable to place cheese on this burnt burger and then gave it out. Already cooked up. They give you a choice of spicy or regular curry. I had regular, but you didn't expect I'd say that, did you? The fish looks pretty soggy, I've got to say. Doesn't look particularly great. I'm going to point out that I've had salt and vinegar as always, but it looks a bit on the soggy side. There we go. Right. The chips are a bit pale. Quite hard. soft in the middle, but the outer skin is quite chewy. They're all a bit like it. I have to experiment with this because I reckon I would be no worse off. That is about the same texture as the chips. So, curry sauce, as we can see, it looks pretty thick. It's traditional. Drip test. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's a good start. That tastes okay. That's actually got a little bit of spice to it too. That isn't bad. But those chips, my God, they're hard. They're tough. Yeah. Right. Let's break open the fish. Let's have a look what we got. Okay, so this isn't the whitest piece of fish I've ever seen. There's a lot of dough in that batter as well. Okay. Not the best looking piece of cod in the world. The batter actually tastes all right. That's not bad. The batter's decent. The curry sauce is decent. The chips taste okay, but texture-wise, I mean, it's Michelin quality. I'm talking about the tyre, not the food guide. Yeah, they are tough. Rubbery. Right. Bit of a tang to it. That's definitely not fresh fish. But as you can see there, it's not white by any standards. It's quite creamy. It's got a little taste to it that makes you realise it's not fresh. It's not a... Yeah, it's not particularly great taste. I've got to admit, I agree with the reviews to a point. See, the chips, they're not dry. They're not horrible. The outer skin on that chip, you could break your teeth. I reckon I could loosen the filling with that. That's a shame. It's, I mean, come and have a look. That's limp. That's like the Viagra stopped working. It really is. And it's soggy. It's really soggy. That's just mush. Look at that. And of course, that is greasy. Considering that was sat in the hot counter, you would have thought the grease would have drained off. It really hasn't. Yeah, that's a bit of a downer. I have to say, not overly impressed. You can see it's soggy, mushy. That's pretty foul. Yeah. I do think, I'll stick by it, that wrapper is better than the chips. I really do. Right, marks out of 10. I reckon the quality of that, 4. The cardboard with the curry sauce, 5.5. Time to move on to the next one. We're in Newquay. This place is called Catch of the Day. It's on White Acres Holiday Park. This has a 1.9 rating on Google. One of the worst in Cornwall. The reviews, awful. Worst fish and chips we've ever had. Reheated God knows how many times. Chips dark brown and inedible. Wow, not sure food could get much worse. Fish looked like it had been there a week and looked like dry cheese. Okay, interesting. To all the reviews that are complaining about the place being shut, be glad they were. The card machine isn't working in there. I tried to scan it on the QR code, which you know I hate, but I offered to do it just so I could get paid and get it done. The QR code wasn't working. So no scan on the app, no card machine. Come to £13.47 incidentally. In the end, I had to go to the cash point across the road, pay £1.95 to get some cash out just so I could pay for the meal. They did give me a discount, which makes up for the difference on the £1.95 charge, so fair play. The staff in there are really, really friendly. The food does not look its best. As you can see from the fish, come on over and take a look. Very, very dirty oil. There's black bits all over it, as you can see. Unfortunately, the poor guy, when he pulled the fish out, the fish broke. So he did, again, he was very apologetic. Fish has seen better days. We had a bit of a laugh about it. They weigh the chips. With this one, as you can see, there is no pepper on these chips, but if you come in close and have a look, there's black bits all over them, so it's dirty oil. Frozen. Dry. There's a good example. Take a look at that. That is disgusting. I've got grease all over my fingers just from them couple of chips. Right, what we got here? In fairness to the fish looks quite white, but it's thin. And it smells like dirty oil. It smells burnt, like the oil's been there for a week with burnt chips and things in it. Tastes like it too. Tastes like it was seasoned with misery and despair. We're on a holiday park in Newquay, tourist capital of the UK. You don't expect much. Let's drip test. It is fairly thin. Well, nothing like saving the best till last. Best, he says. I can't really tell you much. It comes to something when the best part of your fish and chip meal are the frozen chips, which cost a £5. Now, fish, chips and curry sauce. This is one portion, by the way, but they only have one size container. So you get 2 pots, 1 portion. £13.47. Inedible would be an upgrade. It's funny. It's disgusting to the point of being funny. The chips, they're dry, properly dry. There's not much going on there at all. Yeah, it's disappointing. This clearly is like one of the worst in Cornwall. It's got the same ranking as the one in Padstow. The one in Padstow has the slight edge on quality. Not much, but the moral of the story is, if you want good fish and chips, you do not go to a holiday park. It comes to something when dirty, greasy, dry chips are the best part of the meal. It's pretty bad. I mean, what's that? I'm not quite sure what that is. It's just... It's... Well... That is... Yeah. I get the strange feeling. There's a toilet bowl in my very near future. I don't want to waste the money, but I value my life as well. So, yeah, no. Enough's enough. Right, that for me is the clear winner or loser. Winner, loser, either or. That's a generous 2 out of 10. Definitely the worst in Cornwall. It's just, yeah, definitely the worst going. I'm going to wrap this up. Wrap it up. I'm going to bin it. That's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I think definitely the worst one. It's not going to get any worse than this. We really have got to the bottom of the barrel. I'm going to have a bit of a taste in my mouth, I think, for a few hours now. I've had some pretty rough food today, but this one is the tops. Okay, people, I got out alive. I've not come down with E. coli yet. Hopefully in the next few days I don't need a trip to the hospital. But don't hold my breath. If you don't see a video coming up in a few days' time, you know something went wrong. I think the moral of the story on this one is, if you're going to go to a chippy, stay away from holiday parks, stay away from tourist traps, and read the reviews first, because the reviews most of the time are pretty good. Although I will say, the reviews of the market chippy, they were wrong. If I was going to eat any of those chip shops again, the 3.2 at the market, spot on. That was a really good chippy. On that note, thank you for watching, people. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go and hug the toilet bowl now for a few hours.